Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. Really do appreciate it. So coming back today with the bite-sized book of the From Gnome to Yours, which I got as part of the big bundle of the members free gift. So if you are interested, you just sign in as a member. It doesn't cost anything to join. And the £12.99 package includes this little book, some adorable scoreable, and the inserts and the papers that I'm going to be using. So I don't normally have anything to show you before I start, because I usually just sort of sit down, make and get on with it. But because I wanted to do a sort of project video today, I have had a little play, and this is the prototype, so it will be hopefully moving a little bit smoother than this one, because I have changed a few things about the design as I've gone through. But I thought it might be fun to make this cute little that's not glued in the middle, that's there, but a cute little sort of message reveal slider card. Initially I was going to put you'll see I've made cuts there to put a gift card in, but I think that's what's made it pop up quite so much. So I am going to do it slightly differently. So like I say, this was the prototype, but we're going to end up with something that looks a bit like that. Okay, so let's pop that to the side, and I'm going to pop that to the side as well. We won't need that to the end. And I'm going to bring in 2 pieces of 6x12 cardstock, and one piece will be folded in half to make our 6x6 card. And then I'm going to cut a piece that is 5 3/4, 5 3/4. And I'm going to pop this bit to the side because we will need that later for the tab sort of part things. Let me score that card, and then that's going to free up my desk a little bit here as well. So that's just going to be a normal score of 6x6. So we're just going to score at the 6-inch mark, and I'm just going to fold that over and give that a burnish down. If you wanted to, you can just stick this onto a piece of 6x6 and have it as a sort of freestanding sort of project, not as a card that can be displayed in the same way as a normal card. But I kind of like the idea of being able to have both ways of displaying it. Okay, so we'll bring that trimmer back in, and I'm going to be using with this one my holographic card. So first of all, I need to do a mat for that 6x6 card, and I'm just going to take 2 notches off 2 sides, and then that should fit onto our card blank with a nice little white border all the way around. And then this piece should fit onto our silver piece with a nice little border all the way around, and it does. Okay, so I'm going to bring the papers in, and again I'm going to cut that at 5 3/4 squares. Okay, look to the side, and then if I line this up with the 1-inch part on here and the 1-inch, difficult to see, there, 1 inch there, and we're going all the way down to 4 3/4. Not sure if that's where I need to be, so I'll stop there so I don't go over it. Again, if I pop that to the 1 inch and go all the way back to the 1, I can always make these meter up with my my knife. And again, down to the 1. So what I'm wanting is a 1-inch border all the way around. That is looking pretty good, but I will match those up so that they meet. And then with this piece here, what I'm going to do, so this again is the 5 3/4, a lot easier to see on this. So we are going down to the 4 3/4. again, going from that 4 3/4 to the 1, and then one more time. So we're only doing it on 3 sides on this one. So from the 1 to the 4 3/4. Okay, so you can see it doesn't meet up there, but I will just match that up with my knife. Actually, I do want that trimmer back. Let me just pop that in and match that up, so that will need to just pop out like a flip. Okay, now if I bring this back in just to make it easier for myself when I start scoring. So this piece here is 4 inches. So what I want to do is just score that at 2 inches. So if I line my paper up at 3 inches, so because I've got an inch here, and if I put my guide down, I should be able to get a little bit of a mark where my 2 inches is. That doesn't actually look like 2 inches. Let's have a look. No, it's not. That's not quite 4 inches either. I'm going to leave it where it is, and I'm going to have that as my fold. So I've done it at, so I've taken it to the 3 and then scored across there. I will go and make it sort of deeper on my board, but you probably would need to come down another 1/4 inch or so if you want it dead in half. But I think it's going to work like this. All we need is a tab to stick our topper to. And then what I'm going to do is just pop that on my board, and then, oops, if I can stay in the groove, reinforce that. And while I'm there as well, just going to find the end there and pop one across the back as well. Okay, so now you're going to have a piece which is going to be the start of our easel card. Okay, and this is going to be the piece that we stick our piece of card to, and that's going to be getting our mechanism going. So I think what I'm going to do now is come back to this piece here. Let's just go and finish up so that it cuts out my nice square. If you've got dies, this will do this a lot nicer and a lot easier without the stress. And to be fair, by the time we put some embellishments on, even if you do cut a little further than you mean to, it's not going to be noticeable. Okay, so let's just put that there, and that should fit quite nicely over there. And it does perfectly, and then that's going to go into the middle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on top, and there shouldn't be any border on this. I've done this exactly to fit because I didn't want it to go white, holographic white blue. I wanted it to do like I normally do my layers, and because this is paper, I'm not even going to bother with my dotty tape pen because I want this to be completely movable so I can get it right exactly where I want it. Don't think there's a right or a wrong way. And pop that over and then give that a good press down. Okay, and what I can see is there's just a little bit there. Just going to neaten that with my knife. Like I say, we can always hide that with a snowflake or something later on. Okay, so you can see that when I put that on there, that's just going to be like my normal layer, but obviously we've got this piece on there. Okay, so now let's just come up as well, so let's just tidy you. Okay, so I'm going to bring back in my trimmer, and I'm going to bring in my trim it pad in the silver. This is the Christmas one, and I kind of want a smallish sentiment. I take the We Wish, Merry Christmas, Warm Winter Wishes, all I want for Christmas is you, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Greetings of the season. That one seems quite a nice smallish one. So let's pop that out. And I'm going to cut this to the markings of the 4x4. So 4x4. And the markings on here, they aren't exactly 4x4, they are slightly under, so it's not going to affect my space anyway, but this should fit quite nicely into that box of, you know, for what people are going to see of it from behind. Okay, if I wanted to, what I could do is even bring that down a little further. Maybe I should do that and then put that. Yeah, let me just recut that. I can always use that on another card. So it's only paper, nice paper, but it's only paper. And let's just greetings of the season. So don't do the 4x4. Do 4x4 on the width. I'm leaving these mistakes in, so like I say, this is only the second one I've ever done. And then so I need to take, if I'm going closer down, let's see, what's that? That is the, that is still the 4x4 on the bottom. And then I'm just going to take it to that second line at the top. It doesn't matter if it's longer because it will be stuck underneath anyway. So that means that I can move that down a little bit. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, we'll pop that to the side. That will get used, don't worry. Okay, so chaos. So the next bit is going to be the tab itself. So for my tab, I want it to be 6 inches long, and I want it to be 3 1/4. And I want a piece of the blue to match. So it's going to need to be, I'm not going to go 6 inches. 3 1/4. So I'm going to go, I'm not doing a silver layer on this. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit thinner. So I'm going to take the width to 3 2 notches. Okay, and I'm not going to cut the length yet, not until I have done the other pieces. So the first thing I want to do is take this and just put a 1/2 inch crease in, and that is going to be my glue tab. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in that huge punch that I had before. Is too big to go in the guidelines, so I'm just going to put it in so it's just about half, you know, equal each side. I can see I've got a little bit here, a little bit there. Camera may shake, apologies. Oh geez, that's so hard. That's just because it's me, I'm very weak. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a ruler across there, same as I did the other day. Just cut that there. Ideally this would be a metal ruler, but just for speed. And then I'm going to bring in the tiny little corner rounder, and I'm just going to put the corner right into the corner there and round it off, and again on there. Because you can't do it, it just won't go in, or I couldn't get it to go in as it's supposed to. Let's try turning it over that way. Oh, that's not going in. Oh, there we go. Right there. Just the card being a little bit silly. There we go. So we've got a little bit of rounded corners just to make that fit in. And then here, so let's see how long we are now. We are 4 1/4, so I'm going to cut that to 4 and 2 notches. And we'll see what that looks like. I'm going to glue it down, hopefully if I remember it in the coordinating way. Yeah, that's going to be fine. And then if I grab that little corner around her again, this should be easier. Sorry if this is a bit all over the place. Like I say, this is the second time I've done it, so I'm keeping that flat because this doesn't actually pull all the way out, so there's no point in doing those corner there. So in actual fact you could get away with not even putting them on the corner round in the bottom of this and just doing the top, but let's pop that onto there like so. Okay, and if you wanted to, you could put an additional message on here, like I don't know, if you've hidden a present somewhere, a special present on the tree or something, then you could always put, you know, look at the 3rd branch down from the tree, or look in the cupboard under the stairs, or, you know, if you've got a nice big present for somebody. So I'm putting my sticky on there, and I think I've done it the wrong way around. Let me just double check. Yes, I have. So it doesn't go on that side, so it needs to fold up. Told you, leaving all these mistakes in. There we go. And another little bit of line of tape. And pop that onto the back. And then what I'm going to do is feed this through, and then just in the middle just glue that onto the bottom. And then what we've got then is our little pulley system. Okay. Okay, so we've got there. So I think the reason why I did the glue tab that way, let me just show you, so that it's sort of an extension of that, if you like, is because when I glued it the other way, what it did was it created a bit of a hump, and the card didn't lay as flat. So I just think it does pull a little better, and the card does go a little flatter having it, the tab, that way round. So you're doing it sort of in an L shape. Okay, so that's there. Hopefully I'm not confusing you too much. I will put a template for the cutting bits on my sites and things. I'm just going to grab a quick drink. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is bring in some of these 1mm foam pads, and they are a little bit too wide, so I'm just going to cut a chunk off the side like so they will come in handy, and I'm just going to put them around the 3 sides, so the 2 sides and the front. And by giving us this little bit of dimension, what it does is it just gives that topper or this piece here a place to rest. And it also means that if you want to hide a present, you know, a gift card, or maybe some money attached to this little pull tab, you can do it. You may still get a little bit of a bump, but you can do it. I didn't like the bump. I was trying to get it as flat as possible. But you know, if you want to pop it on there, you can do. I'm just going to get one of those narrow ones and just pop that there. Really well supported. Okay, so let's do a little bit of assembling. So for these glues, I'm going to be using my tacky glue and my Kalau all-purpose glue. So this is just a normal matte layer, nice and easy, not stressful in any sense of the word. Put that down. And then on this one it is paper, but what I'm going to do is just add all-purpose glue to this. I know it gets, you know, you have to watch where you put it on the foil, but it is going to be behind. And what I want to do is just pull that up. I just want to make sure that's kind of in the right place before I pop these down. So with that all-purpose glue, just means I can move it over. I might move it down a little bit more. And if we could do it straight, that would be perfect. There we go, let's see. Yeah, I'm happy with that. She says, moving it. So now what I'm going to do is take all of these stickies off the back. Oops. And around, put some on there. And then we're going to have the bones of our card up and running. So, well, what I might do is I might do some written notes for this one as well and pop those on my site. So when I rewatch this video back, I'll take a note of all the sizes. And then hopefully that's going to be of help. So again, we put the tacky glue on the foam pads just to give us that little bit of wiggle room time. And then we can pop that down. And then we've got our mechanism in place. Okay, so from here on in, it's pretty much all just decorating. So let's grab my trimmer. And I need another piece of holographic, and for this piece I need to cut it to 4.5 by 3 3/4, and that should fit quite nicely over there. You can see I'm coming over the top of here because I want it to still look like it's part of a normal card on there. So if you want to, you can do it smaller. If you've got a an image that you can cut down smaller, then you know you can do that. So because we're going with the blues, I do want my blue gnome. There you are, Mr. Gnome. Okay, and if I cut bottom off there, and I'm going to cut, so I've got to kind of centralize this image. I'm not bothered about cutting this snowflake off because I have got a plan for that. So we were 3 3/4, so I can go across to 3.5 plus 2 notches, and then I want to be 4.5 minus 2 notches. So we can go across there. That should fit quite nicely. Yeah, that's going to be my image on there. So what I'm going to do is, this is paper again, so this time I will use some dots on the corners just to keep that in place while I do the other bits and pieces. So I'm just going to give that a nice little press down, nice and flat. And then what I'm going to do is pop a little bit of red liner tape on. If I can find the end, just a little bit, just to keep it in position while it glues. I'm going to put that at the bottom. Oops. And then the glue, my Clout all-purpose glue, I'm just going to pop on this first little half. So don't put anything on that second bit of fold. Otherwise, all you're going to do is stick this to it and it won't work as a proper easel. Okay, so then I can pop that down, pop that in. Okay, so now we've got our image popping up like we want it to. Okay, now what I also wanted to do was adjust. I've got another one that I did cut down earlier. And what I'm going to do is just cut this one out. I'm just going to do that off camera just to save it a bit of time. Okay, so I've cut him out, and what I've done is I've also put a load of 1mm foam pads over the back of him. So I'm just going to pop some tacky glue over just to give us that bit of wiggle room time. And then we're going to pop him on. So if I line up his thumb, snowflake, sorry if you see my head. Hoping that's about there. So there we've got our little snowman, snow gnome. And then I'm not sure if any of you got hold of these. These were the free gift with orders around about the time when the Enchanted Winter came out. But this snowflake is exactly the same as this one here. So what I thought I would do is, have I got two? This is a 2mm foam pad. So cut it in half. And I don't mind that that's coming over the edge. So a little bit of tacky glue on, and we can pop that over him like so. And then it's just really, I mean, if you want to put any of the others on here, you could do. That's why I went with the holographic, to be honest, so I could use those one of those snowflakes. First time I've ever used one of those free gifts, to be honest. Right, so glue on my fingers. So I'm just going to take a blue pearl and pop that into the centre of there. And now it's just finishing touches. So I think what I'm going to do is, if I grab some clear beads, maybe those might be okay. Let's see what they look like. Might be a bit too pointy. Just a second, just give it another pack. There it is. These ones are a little bit more Aurora Borealis, so they might pick up the blues a bit better. Yeah, definitely better. So that's just, these ones are just a plain black and the white, but these are sort of AB sort of gems, so I thought they might work a little better. Let me just pop some into a tray, just a couple. I'll have that ready just in case I want some smaller ones. And then all I need to do is just in the centre of these snowflakes, so just going with those larger ones, pop in one into the middle, bigger one there, bigger one there, bigger one there, and then if I put these really diddy tiny ones in, I can go into there. If I want to stop there, that would be good. do I want to do some on these couple of snowflakes here just to tie that all together? Go, we'll do, so we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4, and one small one there. And obviously you could come in with your glitters, your glitter glues for the snow, and that is it, I think, for those. So we pop those away. And then what I think I am going to do, just to add a little bit of something extra, is just bring in my silver mirror ones. Some of the small ones up. Simmer there, and I'm going to pop 1, 2 in there. Glue on my hands still from those foam pads. And then up here, go with 3. 1, 2 and 3. And then last but not least, I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to bring in some light blue ribbon, and I want to use some of this navy ribbon, but it's loose on my desk. Let me just grab the end of it. Okay, so I'm going to take quite a long piece. I'm going to cut this to the same. And then do I want to do, let's see how we want to do this. So I'm going to try folding this over first of all, and popping this through. Bringing that through, looping it through. So we've got our piece there. I think I'm going to leave it at that. So what I'll do is just bring them down a little bit. Oh, it's like lost me. I've lost me pearls. Where's the other one gone? Oh, it's on my finger, look. The amount of times I do that. Good job it dries clear, that glue, isn't it? Okay, so that is my finished little project. So like I say, it's not been a smooth project. I've left it in so that you can see that, you know, we're all the same when we take on something new. Sometimes it doesn't always work out exactly how we want it to, and sometimes we do have to sort of amend and pivot that about to get that as we want it. Now, what I did find with this one is if you push it down so that it clicks back in, it's going to be nice and flat. I think it probably would have to have an oversized 6x6 envelope, and if you wanted a right pull on there you could do, but if you press it down you'll hear it just like the paper just catch it, and that's going to keep it flat. But that is my finished little project for the day. Obviously it needs another insert on the inside. I use that insert pad again. It's just a useful one, that one. I do like them now. It sort of took me a while to get into the habit of using them, but now I can see the benefit of them. I am enjoying using those insert pads. And like with that one that I cut the wrong size, I can always leave it in the pad for when I've done a card the right size. Or I can always mat and layer it onto a 6x6 card. I could even put it on the inside of here with the same greeting if I wanted to, but I probably won't. But so if I bring that one in that I did before, my little prototype, you can see how this one's quite plain. It's got no decorations on, no ribbon. It was just me trying things out, and that insert, that greeting isn't even glued in there. But from there to a sort of more finished project, it's definitely looking a little neater, and I think if I did it again, it would be even neater again. But that's it for today. So next time, I'm not sure what I'm going to come back with, to be honest, because I got the magazine the other day, and I thought it might be nice to have a play with that, but it's still Christmas. But I thought maybe it might not have to be. It could be just like winter birthdays, because it's quite nice characters in it. So I'm going to have a little think about that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to come back with yet. But I will see you in a couple of days. Apologies, this has been a little rough and ready. Like I say, I will do some written notes, and I'll also obviously do the template for the cutting as well. Okay, but until next time, happy crafting. Bye.